Let me start this episode off by bigging up Trapstar, the whole team at Trapstar, an amazing brand, a brand that is championed over here by many artists, many people in different walks of life, a brand that's been going for so many years now. Long may it continue. Definitely stood the test of time. I remember the days when they had the pizza boxes. They would deliver it to your door with your garments in, t-shirts, whatever it was you was purchasing. And I just really believe it's an honourable shout that should be championed. Because when I look around, I see so many rappers endorsing the brand, so many, movie stars endorsing the brand. So yeah, man, and these are people that, I have a personal relationship with. I've seen the development. So yeah, man, just an honourable shout out to Trapstar. Keep doing what you're doing over there. Nothing but greatness. I want to also send a shout out to Vybz Kartel. Just done 2 nights, sold out O2 Arena. Crazy. He's been home a year now. And I think ever since he forwarded out of them gates when he was on the landing, he's been back to it. Back to what he knows. And it's always good to see, man. We know the world boss for being the world boss in this dancehall reggae environment that we love to listen to. So good to see that he's just back to the music, man. Cashing in, picking up checks, bags all over the place. Still got many more shows to do. Long may that continue for him. And I also heard those nights was 2 good nights at the O2 as well, man. So you already know. A question I want to ask though. UK. When I think of genres of music, and I might miss some out here, we got drum and bass, house music, and I know there's a couple different versions to house, soulful house, and so on. But garage, rap, grime, drill. So 6 genres, and I know there's probably a couple more. But let's say the 6 genres that we have. Out of the 6, which genre do you believe has impacted us the most? Like, which one has done the most for us? Like, took us overseas, people in different countries know about this sound, or which one would you say it would be if you had to pick one? Because there's no doubting and no denying that when, I'm a lot older than most of you, but when drum and bass was out, it was a place to go and, do your thing on the weekends or whatever it may be. One Nation, Telepathy, you know what I'm trying to say? Garage, we saw the impact of So Solid. We saw the impact of Heartless Crew, Pay As You Go. And garage music till now is still like, if you get that call and someone tells you, it's a garage event, you might think twice, like, I might step out. Because good vibes, good times, So Solid, I believe, definitely took it for me as far as it can go. Then you fast forward to the rap scene. You think of Central Seas, you think of Stormzy's, you think of Dave's, you think of Gigs. Took it far. Very far. You know what I'm saying? You would arguably say Central C's success is probably the biggest we've seen from rap. Then you got grime. You look at the Dizzy Rascals, the Crazy Titches, the Wileys, the Scorchers, the Getzes, the Kanos, and there's so many more, like even down to like Flirta D's. Talk about unique, you know what I'm saying? DEE's, So the question from me to you is, out of those genres, and you can say your own genre if I've missed one out, which one do you feel like impacted us culturally the most, took us the furthest we could go? Like, I'd be intrigued to see some responses in the comments. So leave them in the comments for me, please. I'll address the snitching because I'm getting a lot of messages about it, and I won't say too much on it because I don't see nothing positive in it. All I would just say is that if you've grown up a certain way, just don't forget the morals, the integrity, the principles that you was raised with. So, i.e., if you're indulging in street activities, which we know what they are, we don't need to, then there's a code to live by. That's my opinion. If you're a civilian, you know, do what you do best. But if you grew up in this world of ours, which is the minority, by the way, then yeah, man, you got a code to live by. You got to look at examples. Look at K. Coke's legendary song talking about someone from his part of town. And why did it resonate so well with so many of us? Because we was all like, yeah, we're against that. That's just one example. So fast forward 2025, there's a lot of, you know, disloyalty being shown. No honor amongst thieves, they say. But I'm just saying, man, my opinion, yeah. If you're from this, follow this rule. If you're from here, do what you're doing. You know what I'm trying to say? It's you couldn't get it more simpler than that. Also, artists that are trying to pursue music as a career. Here's what I would say. Put some money aside and call it a budget for music. And if that budget, if you run through that budget, maybe reevaluate your situation. Because any good business has to have money you put in and you want your returns. If you're putting in, there's no returns, what are we doing there? Because I was one of those people that was just putting in. I was watching So Solid spend quarter of a ticket, 100,000 on videos, left, right, and center. And I'm there putting in my 5s and 10s like a few other people around me. And it's like, we wasn't thinking strategy. We were just running it through. So if I had the advice that I could give you, it'd be that. Put that money to the side, call it your music budget. Once you run through that budget, because remember, marketing is key. You're going to need your video shot. Even though a lot of people do it on iPhones and all sorts of things now, if you're in your videos and you want your cars, your models, your drip that you're going to wear, whatever it may be, it's going to cost a lot of money. Now, another thing I want to say is, I feel like the talent, we've avoided the talent. We've looked over the talent. Like, it's being overlooked. We more care about what somebody's wearing now, what the latest watch he's wearing, the latest chain, ring, drip. Is it in season? My question is, what about the talent? What about the music? What about the music? Because what we doing here, if we're not talking about the music, what we talking about? Someone's dress sense? What someone just purchased? Because let's have it right. A lot of these people doing music are terrible, bro. But they got money, so it looks good. But what is that? What we doing here? What does that mean? Your talent may be making money. Your talent may be not making music. We're confusing the two. We're mixing the two. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring it back to the talent. Because just because you got money don't mean you're a good rapper. Correct me if I'm wrong. The landing.
Fanatics.
Throw me out, that could pay in a pig. I'll be on your roof, call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too, going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo, we had to break shit.